Here's a quick first impression of the Positive Grid Spark amp. So first, let's keep in mind I'm not a guitar player. I'm a drummer and producer, and I do guitar overdubs. So the playing will be pretty terrible, but that's not the point. All right, so first thing, you open up the app. It's going to ask you to connect through Bluetooth. Search for the device, and then it will connect, and you'll be all set to go. You'll know if Bluetooth is working because there's a Bluetooth light on the back that actually flashes. So now it's connected. This is the main screen that you go to, and this is where you can check out all of the different presets and make whatever modifications that you want. So top has a drop down with a bunch of different presets here, so you can look at the different hardware channels. So the top of the Spark amp has a hardware channel. You can switch between clean, crunch, high gain, metal, bass, acoustic, etc. So if you want to go through the patches, select whichever one that you want, click on it. You can edit and change your categories. So if you're creating your own different types of amps, you can create your own categories. You can modify the names and organize things in a bit of a different way. Otherwise, click on it, and then you will be back to the main screen. All of the options up at the top, so all the pedals, the amp, the mod pedals, delay, and reverb can be controlled through the unit as well, through hardware. So if I've got this, whatever the settings are here on the screen, if I modify these on the amp, you notice the treble is moving up and down as well. So you can adjust these on the amp or through the app directly. So it's the same for the mid-tone, the bass, the gain can be adjusted here as well. The volume is the master on the hardware itself. And so if you switch over to delay, so you can adjust the delay through the Spark itself as well, just the level. So it's not going to adjust any of the other settings there. It's just going to be the level, and it will be the same for reverb as well. So if you're adjusting reverb on the module, then the level, just the level, will go up and down there. Too much reverb, a little bit too much delay. And of course, with the app, it's touchscreen, obviously. So you can modify those settings. Let's turn the gain down. Switch back to the mod. There's a mod control on the hardware as well. So whatever mod pedal you have installed, it will control that. So the delay, the reverb, mod, and all of the basic bass, mid, and treble settings, and gain and master, you can switch. So to switch the amp, double tap on the actual amp itself, and then here's all the list of the 30 different amps that are built into it. And you don't have to have the pedals open in order to modify any of the different settings. So if I wanted to modify the mod, the delay, or anything, you can just do it right on the hardware there. So no delay, no reverb. If I update those, you can see on the screen, you can see active, not active. So I've got the delay and reverb all the way off, so it shuts them off in the app as well. And when you turn it on, you can't see the level when you're modifying the knobs. You just see if basically if it's on or off. So if I go back and I check the reverb, I've got it cranked. So you notice the level on the screen is set to cranked. So I'm going to turn that back down again. So it's the same with any of these. You double tap any of these and it's going to bring up whatever options that are inside the Spark app. So all of the different noise gates, compressors, of course all the amps and the mods. Accessing tonecloud is very easy too. Just click on the little tonecloud icon, and here's all of the saved presets that people have uploaded to the cloud, which is very cool. So it is super easy to use and very easy to get started with. Jamming along, which obviously I'm not going to do in a live overview video because my guitar playing skills are pretty embarrassing. Pick whatever style you want, and it gives you a chord progression, and it starts playing right away. And you can cycle through different. Okay, that's enough of that. Plenty of presets in here for you to jam along with very quickly, very easily. And it's going to store all of your presets in here as well. So anything that you've recently played, you'll be able to go back and get that very easily. Here's the cool thing. So it's actually mimicking on screen what I'm saying. You can just play along and it will start to do backing tracks. Let's see how this works. Let's jam with Dave. Bad. Very cool. So it would be pretty helpful if when it asks you to jam, it would keep the click going. So let's just see if you will this actually do anything other than just play a metronome. Nope. All right. So let's go back into Smart Jam. Let's turn on play drums. Oh, okay. So it'd be really helpful here if there was a metronome. And let's see what it does. So pretty cool. Last thing is hooking it up to music, so either Apple Music or Spotify. So let's see. I don't think I have anything in here because this is just a brand new iPad. So let's go with the YouTube that they force you to listen to when you get a new iPad. All right. first impression, very impressed with it. The unit itself is very solid, feels very high quality, and it was instantaneous to set up. So as long as it took to get out of the box and plug it in, it was up and running and working right away. So the cool thing with all of the different options on the top of the unit, you can switch between clean, high gain, metal sounds, plus having delay, reverb, and mod, which is usually defaulted to chorus, works right away. I haven't plugged in an external audio source into it yet, but I expect that to work pretty well. So it's fantastic practice amp to get started with right away. Second thing, the app is done very well. It's very, very simple to switch between sounds, plus having tonecloud at your fingertips. It's very easy to grab something that sounds really good right away. So what I'm going to do now is just a very quick test in Logic. So the Spark amp has a USB plug, and I just have it plugged right into my computer, and I'm going to do a little short test on putting the Spark sounds up against the Bias FX 2, which of course is another Positive Grid product. So let's just see if there's a difference between their plugin and the hardware version of their amp sims. Okay, so here is the Bias FX 2 plugin versus the Spark amp. So I'm using Vox sim for both. Settings are exactly the same cabinet. Noise gate is off on both. Everything is set at Unity, and for the clean sounds on the Spark amp and in the app, I have it set to 3 and then up to 11 in the Bias FX plugin. On the app for the Spark amp itself, it only goes up to 10. So obviously the plugin's better because it goes up to 11. Main difference is there is a presence knob on the plugin, but there isn't in the app for the amp itself. So here is the clean sound. Okay, and here is the clean with the Spark amp itself. Now here is the dirty. So turned up, the gain is turned up to 10, otherwise all of the other settings are the same. Okay, so now let's look at the Bias FX plugin. Switch these. Final verdict, I think this is a fantastic product. So my use is going to be mostly for practicing myself, and I'll also use it for some guitar overdubs. So the quick test that I did with the plugin versus the real amp, just using just the Vox head, it sounds a bit thicker, so I am probably going to use this instead of plugins. I'm actually just in the middle of recording another single for our band, and I'm kind of annoyed because now I want to redo the guitar parts with some of the by plugging the Spark in instead. So I did use the Bias effects on the track that's going to be coming out soon, and it sounds pretty good, but this it seems to sound a little bit more full even when it's just plugged in through USB. I'll even try miking it as well just to see if there's a difference there. So the highlights for me, The app is fantastic. How easy it is to get fantastic sounds. The fact that the app and the knobs on the actual hardware itself are synchronized and they update. You can also store sounds onto the hardware itself. So it has 4 presets where you can actually, whatever you have set up in the app, you can store it there as well. So if you're carrying it around to practice, and again, it's only 16 pounds, so it's very light, you can customize your sounds and you don't have to bring your iPad or do any of that kind of stuff. You can play it right through the amp as well. So I'm sold. I think they did a fantastic job on this product. I know there's lots of people on the forums complaining about how long it took to get the thing. I ordered mine December 1st. I got it today, which is what, May 19th, and literally took as long as it took to open up the box and plug it in to set it up. So I'm very happy with this, and I'm looking forward to doing some more recording and some more tests with it. Hope you enjoyed the video.